I'm making the drive from Shreveport to Monroe to try some wine here in Louisiana. I really like some Cajun food, so I'm excited to try some red beans and rice today. Probably gonna have that with some catfish. I'm gonna have to figure out which wine pairs with red beans and rice. I have no idea, I've never done it before. So come with me and we'll figure out which wine pairs best with red beans and rice. But first, before I do that, I gotta go check out the Duck Commander store. You know the Duck Commander is famous for Duck Dynasty and the Robertson family. I'm gonna go see what they got, maybe get me one of those duck calls, and then I'm gonna head over and get some wine. We begin this trip at the legendary Duck Commander Warehouse, the heart and soul of the Robertson's family booming business. It all started back in 1972 with Phil Robertson's ingenious invention, the Duck Commander duck call. Who knew the simple call would become the foundation for an empire? Fast forward to 2012, and the world was introduced to the Robertson clan through Duck Dynasty on A&E. This show wasn't just about ducks. It was a hilarious and heartwarming look into their unique way of life, their down-home charm, and their surprising entrepreneurial spirit. For 5 seasons until 2017, Duck Dynasty became a cultural phenomenon. The numbers speak for themselves. At its peak, the show drew in millions of viewers, making the Robertsons household names and turning their duck call business into a global brand. This stop in West Monroe offers a fun glimpse into a piece of Louisiana and pop culture history. Working my way through the wine tasting here at Landry. Landry has a lot of wines. They actually only have about 3 estate varieties here. The rest of their grapes they bring in, typically I guess from California, to make their wines. And you get the list when you do your wine tasting here, and you get to pick 6, and you just put a star next to it, and then they will pour out little tastings and bring you up this board and give you a glass, and you just pour those in as you try them. It's a very convenient way of getting your wine tasting here. Right here, I have the Rosé. Now this is Rosé of Lenoir. I've never heard of Lenoir. Lenoir is a black Spanish grape, so this is a Spanish-American hybrid made for this hot and humid land here in West Monroe. And so let's give it a go on the nose. No, it's got a little bit of grapefruit, a little bit of strawberry there, and almost a little spiciness to it, like a little bit of a cinnamon or cardamom there. Let's give it a taste. Oh, that's almost off dry. So the strawberry comes through. It's still refreshing. It's not too sweet. It's really nice. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I think this is the pairing that should go with the red beans and rice later on today. For eagle-eyed viewers of the 9th episode of Duck Dynasty, the rolling vines and passionate expertise of Landry Vineyards will resonate. Featured prominently was Jeff Landry, one of the vineyard's esteemed owners, stepping into the role of a knowledgeable guide within the show's narrative. And indeed, Jeff and his wife Libby are true authorities in their craft. Their winemaking journey began in Folsom, Louisiana, back in 1999, with a focus on the intriguing French-American hybrid grape Blanc du Bois, a variety that even played a memorable, humorous part in the very Duck Dynasty episode.
Blanc du Bois, that's the name of this grape.
Blanc de who?
Blanc du Bois. It's a wine grape.
All these are Blanc du Blancs?
Blanc du Bois.
Blanc de Wine.
Blanc du Bois.
Blanc de Wine.
Willie can't even pronounce the name of the grapes. It's Blanc de Bois. See, I can't pronounce the name of the wine.
But the winds of fate in the form of Hurricane Katrina's devastating force would lead the Landrys to new ground. They relocated to the more hospitable terroir of northern Louisiana, a region now flourishing with their dedication. Here at Landry Vineyards, a profound commitment to the land and its potential is evident, with approximately 16 acres under vine. They yield an impressive 50 to 70 tons of grapes each year, carefully cultivating varieties like Blanc du Bois, the robust Lenoir Black Spanish, and the compelling Crimson Cabernet. From these harvests, and with the addition of premium California grapes for their barrel-aged selections, Landry Vineyards crafts an astonishing array of over 24 distinct wines. Their offerings span the spectrum from crisp dry whites and reds to luscious semi-sweets and rich port-style wines. So right here, I am trying Cabernet Norton. This is actually a blend between two grapes, Cabernet Sauvignon and Norton. I've never heard of Norton, but they actually just told me that they had to pull these out, had a little bit of growing issues with the Cabernet Norton. They think the Norton will do well by itself. So they planted Norton, the grape variety, but that's just Norton, 100% Norton. And so they're gonna come out with that. I think it's already in the barrel. She says it should be bottled next year. So they're excited to see what that is. But here, again, I have the Cabernet Norton, which is very, very unique. This is done in oak and Hungarian barrels, actually. So I'm excited to give this a try. Let's see how it goes on the nose. Oh, it's got a little bit of a sweetness to it that comes through, like a sweet cherry. And you do get a little bit of that French oak. It's not very strong, not very pronounced. I know Hungarian is a little bit more neutral. Is probably the best way to put it than French. So there's it probably tames down that French flavor profile. Let's give it a taste on the palate. Oh, there's a little tart. And you get a lot of that red cherry does hang on. You do get some of that oak, but there's a strong tartness that definitely comes out in that. It's like almost kind of like unripe Bing cherry is what you get there. But overall, a lot of the wines here are just really well made. You can see behind me, by the way, this is a popular place during the summer. It's really cold right now, but during the summer they have a lot of concerts here. Band plays right over here at the pavilion, and I'm told about 1,500 people show up for each one of their events. And they actually have a wood-fired pizza truck here as well that does 12-inch pizzas on Saturdays, actually. So great venue, interesting wines, and they do a lot of great wines where they bring the grape juice in from California as well. Tasted some of those. They were all fantastic. Really enjoyed the Petite Syrah specifically, and they did, I'm going to mispronounce this, but I believe it's a Bayoutage, which is a play off of Meritage, which is really fantastic, and it's their best seller, so you should buy a bottle if you get by. Here I have the Blanc du Bois. This is an estate wine, and because it's so humid and hot here, they have to kind of get creative with their varieties, so a lot of the traditional varieties you see won't grow very well here. So this is a grape I've never actually heard of. It's called Blanc du Bois, which is an American-French hybrid. White wine, obviously. Let's give the nose a go. And on the nose, you get a lot of like white flower, a little bit of honey in that, and a little bit of like a green pear almost. Let's give it a try and see what it tastes like. Pretty crisp, pretty clean. The pear holds up for sure. You get more like a yellow Bartlett pear taste to it. A little bit of honeysuckle there. This is a pretty good wine, very, very unique flavor profile. So if you ever get by here, give the Blanc du Bois a try, if nothing else, because you've probably never tried it before. Just finished the wine tasting here at Landry Winery. They have some unique grapes here. They have to because it's hot and humid during the summer here. We're gonna take the Lenoir Rosé. that's the grape, Lenoir, and we're gonna head on over to Bojack's and try some red beans and rice. Let's see how it goes. This trip to Louisiana culminates now not just with sights seen, but with flavors deeply ingrained in the state's very soul. We find ourselves gathered around a table in the hotel room with the aroma of a true Louisiana classic filling the air, red beans and rice. This isn't just a meal, it's a story told in every creamy bean and every grain of rice. Its origins run deep, a display of the vibrant tapestry of cultures that have shaped Louisiana. You can taste the echoes of Africa, the elegance of French influence, and the spice of the Caribbean, all simmered together in one humble yet profound dish. For generations, red beans and rice was a sustenance of working families, a simple and affordable way to nourish and unite. Traditionally served on Mondays, it was a practical magic, a meal that could simmer unattended while the week's laundry was tackled. It became more than just food, it became a rhythm of life. And what better accompaniment to this cornerstone of Louisiana cuisine than the fruit of its revitalized soil? We raise a glass of locally crafted wine. Each sip is a discovery, a new layer of Louisiana's evolving story. Mrs. K and I just finished the road trip to the hotel back from Landry Winery. It was a really good experience. We stopped along the way and got some red beans and rice at a little place called Bojack's just down the street. At first, I thought for sure the rosé was going to be the wine that I would pair with the red beans and rice, but this rosé is a little off dry, so it's got a sweetness to it, which would go great if there was some spice. But there's no real spice in this red beans and rice. There is a high level of fat from the pork that they put in the beans, and so I opted instead to pair this with a biotage. The biotage has a high level of Cabernet Sauvignon, which has tannins and a medium plus acid level, so it'll help just cut through that fat level that is in the beans and rice. So with that in mind, let's give this a go. You definitely take that first bite, that fat just kind of lingers on. And then you pair that with the biotage and it just kind of washes it all away in a very nice way with a little bit of tannin left over. It's really a perfect pairing. I'm so excited I got to put these two together here in Louisiana. That concludes this episode. I'm gonna say so long for now, but I hope sometime I get to see you somewhere on the wine trail.
These